What's up? My name is Ryu for the YugiohCouncil. Welcome to Coffee Time, your Monday morning discussion video released in the evening because I am busy in the day. I'm constantly recording 5 channels. So there's going to be a channel update before today's topic, which is in the title as always. So if you don't want to hear the channel update, you could just pretty much scoot ahead. And that's going to cheat here. It's not just a channel update, it's an everything update. So videos did not go out for any of the 5 channels. Streams did happen over the weekend. It was Uncharted 4 stuff, and OBS was giving me issues. So I'm looking into the OBS stuff. We should have it fixed by tomorrow, and we will be streaming tomorrow onward. I think Thursday, if we stream, it'll be a late stream. So pretty much Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, definite streams. Saturday, Sunday, maybe streams. So let's talk about what happened over the weekend. And it's not Yu-Gi-Oh! Just talking about me. That's not that way, because I'm more important. My wife went into labor with my twin girls a month early. I said 2 months earlier initially, but that was a mistake on my part. The due date was actually mid-April, so about a month early. Both of them are good. They're identical, which is going to be a pain when they get older. I'm not gonna lie, but that's not important. What is important is that they're doing good. They just have to gain weight. They're premature, and then they'll come home. So a lot of stress happened for me, and that's pretty much why leading up to it, I was just like feeling off, and I was like, I'm not gonna release videos until everything feels about right. I was actually taking a legit break. And that's partly why I kept questioning myself with Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I don't want to spend money on cards and stuff. You kind of get that way when you have kids. But I think I'm back on track now. Furthermore, Council Gaming got renamed to Yugioh Gaming. It matches Twitch, because when we're on Twitch, we're not just streaming Yu-Gi-Oh! We're streaming Pokemon. We're streaming video games for Nintendo stuff, for just games, or just Pokemon, or just Yu-Gi-Oh! So I wanted that to reflect, and it just made sense. I talked to everyone before we changed the name. So Council Gaming is renamed Yugioh Gaming. It's not that was just being me. Secondly, third and not least, but last. The council, all the channels that use for openings and everything, I use a Samsung camcorder. I've been in the market for a new camera, and we're moving on to a Canon SLR starting May-ish, like late May, early June. Hype! So everything's going to look uber pretty starting on, I want to say close to May 25th. Around there, everything will start looking pretty with openings and whatnot. So it's going to look great. So there's that. So let's talk about today's topic. Okay, today's topic is the surprise factor in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is something that's been happening, and I think everyone's kind of just overreacting. I'm not going to point fingers again. I'm not. But Magical Explosion, FTK, and Super Quantum, both surprise factors that have led the way of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Of just, oh my god, this is Towers.deck. It's always been Towers.deck. Or Magical Explosion, it's always been FTK. The only thing is that Super Quantum, no one was looking at, and it's like, oh, that's cool. It's a Power Ranger deck that has fucking 10, materials underneath, and it's a fucking Towers. Bro, it's not a Towers. It's a bigger Towers that's scarier. Because at least with Towers, there was ways of getting around it. This shit, you have to bait it out, or you have to get it off the field, and that's a pain, especially when it's unaffected by everything. Honestly, I don't get this at times when people don't tend to look at it, because this is the meta in a nutshell. I prepare for the meta. Anything that's not meta, my deck instantly is not prepared for. Rogue matches have always been a factor in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And for some reason, when there's competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And a rogue deck pops up, it's like, oh my god, overreact, Konami, ban. Here's the thing. Magical Explosion has needed a ban for the longest of times. Cards that initiate FTK plays should not be legal in any shape or form in this goddamn game. And there's still more than just Magical Explosion out there FTK-wise. There's a lot of FTKs in this fucking game. Magical Explosion, however, when you combine it with Monarchs, Yugioh just goes, I'm putting all these spell cards in my graveyard. I can recycle them. What am I going to do? I'm going to burn the living crap out of my opponent. I'm going to milk their life points away. Inflict 200 damage for each spell card in your graveyard. Okay, that seems kind of bad. You only need one to win because you just stack like 39 fucking spell cards in your graveyard because this game has gotten way too fast and can capitalize on it, and then burn your opponent. But hey, Super Quantum, they got towers. Yeah, it's extremely hard to bring out. You know how you stop it? Don't let the field card be a thing. Or just stop the summoning of the exceeds. Or just stop the summoning of the damn thing. Once it comes out, it's a scary threat and it's a pain to go. You know, it's a pain to get over it. There's plenty of ways to get around it, and pretty much the only time that really the deck will take off is when you have opening God Hand. But when you don't have opening God Hand, the deck is going to collapse in on itself. And I think a lot of people were just playing something completely different for that, you know, that rogue fact. And I don't think this is the last time of the format, because this is twice now in this past, 2, 3, 4 weeks that we've seen decks popping up like Magical Explosion Monarch and Super Quantum. And now everyone's like, Super Quantum's meta. Super Quantum is meta like Despots have a chance to be meta, because Despots are rogue, they have OTK factor, they have powerful plays, they're right under the radar. And once they get the opportunity to, if Cosmos weren't completely a thing, because I think that's the thing that's holding them back, they would pop up, snap at that shit, and just run with it. I think a lot of people just get caught off guard. And again, I'm gonna say it again and again. Magical Explosion needs to be banned. It always needed to be banned, just like Royal Magical Library. It's just that people are putting it on the radar now because it topped an event. It does not matter if a card does not top an event. If it leads to an FTK, then it should be dealt with immediately. That's just my stance on the whole fucking thing. The Super Quantum thing, the robot is stupid. Because it's designed to be stupid, because you're combining 3 other robots and about, 10 cards to make it. Now, if those 10 cards come together, here's a great thing to do. The Maxi Challenge with Kaiju. Because you could tribute it off. Ryu said this before. Kaijus are the answer to every problem, 90% of them anyway, outside of Burn, of Yu-Gi-Oh! But people just get in the meta of Draco Pals, of Cosmo, of Mermel, of Burning Abyss, those 4. I understand. I completely understand. I've been there with Teledat. And then you get the surprise factor that comes waltzing on in. Takes you by surprise. Oh fuck, how do I deal with that? And that's where the casual Yu-Gi-Oh! Players come in. That's where the Yu-Gi tubers come on in. Come on in, let me show you how to deal with this. Just gotta bait this shit out. You gotta overpower it. Utopia to lightning this bitch. Oh, but Ryu, it's nights back into the day. Oh, well, you're fucked then. You're completely fucked because I told you not to let that Megazord get on the board. And you let that Megazord get on the board. No, I played the deck before. It's easy enough to do it. I think a lot of it is just the speed that we have in the game right now is causing these rogue decks to really just pop up. And I know what you're saying. It's only 2. It was an ARG event. ARG sucks. Fuck ARG. I've seen it before. Or it's cancer. I laugh at those comments. I'm sorry. I just do. Because even if you look at ARG as trash, even if you look at the deck as cancer, and I don't agree with that whole putting it as cancer shit. Just call it fucking what it is. A deck that needs to be hit by the ban list. A deck that is too powerful for its own good. There's other words, but whatever. Not going to dwell on it. Here's the thing, though, that makes me laugh. Magical Explosion is one card that can be stopped by about 40 other cards that are called hand traps that you can actually run that no one ever wants to use. And I understand why, because it's the only burn deck out there. And a good chunk of the time, when your opponent's playing a burn deck, it's great against the meta. Good chunk of the time. The only difference is that this one loads everything into the graveyard and just burns you to death. I would not be surprised. I would not be fucking surprised in the next coming weeks if we see a fucking Exodia deck and take over for a short amount of time and everyone goes, oh my god, we gotta ban fucking Exodia. Look at the core of the problem. The core of the problem is not Exodia. The core of the problem is fucking Royal Magical Library and all the draw power. Just like Magical Explosion, the core of the problem is all the draw power. The core of the problem with Super Quantum, and to be fair, I have not looked at the deck profile for it yet, but I'm pretty sure it probably has Brilliant Fusion in it, and I've seen a couple builds that run down that way. I would say it's the speed of the deck. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has become extremely quick. This is something we adapt to. I think it's time that Konami needs to pull it back just a little bit and go, oh fuck, it's too fast right now. And I think that's what coming off this rogue factor is. That element of speed that it's allowing these decks to top more. Not just the surprise factor, but the speed. I know there's going to be a couple people. That guy cheated. This YCS player cheated. I've been keeping up on those dirt sheets, man. Those dirt sheets. That's what I call them. When it comes to it, though, in all seriousness, it does not matter if the guy cheated. The deck's still top at the end of the day. The deck still got notoriety. The deck is still out there. People are still talking about the deck. It's still in people's mouths. So it is still an issue. The game is extremely fast. So be prepared for your rogue matches. Let that be the takeaway. Let me know what you guys think, though. Is it because of the format that everyone's kind of stuck in this 4-deck thing? Or is it because the rogue factor is too quick? Or it's just the surprise factor? Share your opinions down below. I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to slap it with a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Just thank you for being so kind for that. Check out the links to our other channels or our Twitch, all that goodness in the description box, because only like 5 of you ever check it. Just throwing that out there. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you later. Peace!